Good morning, darlings. Okay, so today what we're going to do is I'm going to start by asking you to click the links in the description bar first. There are 2 videos to watch and then come back. So please do that and then come back. Okay, well done. I'm going to assume that you all did that and that you know how to do it. Excellent. So what you would have seen is in the first video is the value of art in society, the role of art and culture from the Open Society Foundation. You would have seen this video. Okay, and the second one would have been from one of my favourite TV shows ever called The West Wing, and Toby Ziegler is championing the arts and highlighting the correlation between progress in a society, either technologically speaking or industrially speaking, or just scientifically speaking, or just progress, and the progress in the arts, about how art is valued and stuff like that. So my question for you today to begin with, is why is art important? You guys do art until the age of 14 in year 9, where you either select it as an option or you choose other subjects instead. But it is imperative that it's in the national curriculum. And my question is, why is art important? Art comes in many different forms. For me, art is writing. It's creative writing, it's creative stories, and that's A, because I'm an English teacher, B, because I'm an author, and C, because reading is one of my major hobbies. Okay, it's right up there, almost up there. Well, it's a little bit behind, but it's a very, very close second to rugby and sleeping and shopping, but mostly rugby and reading. Okay, so in front of you then you've got some photographs. This dude down here, Stormzy, I'm sure you guys know who he is and what he does with his lyrics in order to challenge the government. I think it was at the Brit Awards that he performed and was challenging the government about the Grenfell disaster. Okay, this image here, down here, is by Banksy. And Banksy, as you know, does street art. Nobody knows who Banksy is. And Banksy challenges things that are viewed as wrong in Banksy's opinion, because we don't know if it's a man or a woman, in Banksy's opinion, and so does art about it. Up here we have, where's my mouse gone? Oh, it's there. Up here we have this dude who is Bruce Springsteen, known as The Boss, who you guys, I'm sure, have never heard of, but I'm sure you will have heard the song Born in the USA. Now, Born in the USA was actually a protest song about the war that the US was involved with. And now down here we've also got a map, and we've got Je suis Charlie. Okay, a few years ago there was an attack in France against a comic office where they produce a satirical comic, and because they drew this particular comic, some people had issues with it and they went and attacked the offices and killed some people because of some art. So why is art important? Art is freedom. Art is freedom of expression. It's freedom to challenge ideas, freedom to celebrate or challenge areas in society that need to be challenged, or that people have an opinion about and want to share it. We've seen this with Dickens. Dickens could have written an article about the poverty and the conditions in the factories that he had witnessed, but what he actually did was he wrote a novella instead that kept the issue alive, and we are still studying it 180 years later. We are still studying his ideas 180 years after he wrote them. This is why art is important. Art isn't just drawings, photography, movies. It is writing, it is posters, it is anything that makes people think. Okay? So this is why it's important. Let's move on. So, what does the poem Ozymandias then suggest about the power of art? I've asked you to draw a chart, put down the positives. What are the positives of the power of art? What does the art itself, the sculpture, what lessons does it teach us? But what are also the negatives of the sculpture, of the art? So go ahead and pause that. You can do this in a Word document and email it to me, or you can put it on a piece of paper, take a photo and email that. Go ahead and pause the video and do that, and then come back. Well done. Next slide then. Right, so what we need to do now is we need to examine the significance of a narrative voice. So what we need to do is we need to think about how to tackle this idea, because examining stuff like this is quite a big task. So pause the video and think about how you would tackle this task, and then come back. Okay, well done. I'm going to assume that you've done that. So my approach to it would be this. 1, I would have to define what a narrative voice is. 2, I would have to determine how many different types there are and give an example for each if I was going to be writing an essay on this or a paragraph. 3, I might broadly suggest or comment comment on the advantages and the disadvantages of each, perhaps give a few examples from previous texts studied or read. 4, I would then determine which kind is used in Ozymandias. And 5, I would analyse the benefits and drawbacks of it being used in this poem. So this is what you need to do. I need you to have a look at all these stages and complete these in a piece of work. So you might not necessarily need to write all of them down, but you will definitely have to do numbers 4 and 5 in writing and submit it to me. Okay, you can make notes on these just for your own reference, and that's fine, but you have to do these 2 at the bottom and send them to me. So go ahead and pause the video and do that, and then come back. Well done. So what we now need to do is we need to think about what impression might the poet be trying to achieve by utilising a traveller's perspective to describe the statue, to describe the art. This is a big question, so let's see what Helpful Harvey's got to say. We should spend 25 minutes on this, by the way, guys, no longer than that. Helpful Harvey says we need to use our standard success criteria of ambitious vocabulary and use it accurately, complete sentences, spellings all correctly. We don't use I because there's no I in essays. We don't use that. It's third person formal language only. We need to use quotations to support our answer. We explain all our answers in detail. We discuss the use of methods and or their effect. And we consider what a reader's reaction might have been when the poem was written and what it is today. Okay, now that is big work, guys. And yeah, you can use some big words as well. So this is what it is. This is today's work, okay? So you need to use all this and thinking about all this narrative voice, and then why is it that we're using a traveller's perspective to describe the statue? How does that narrative voice help create the impression the poet wants to? Why isn't it the speaker of the poem who saw the statue? Why is it somebody else? Why is it a traveller? Why is art important, and how does it change people's perspectives? Okay, this is a big task. I'm not going to lie to you. This will take you a while. You have a week to do this. So the deadline will be a week from today. You'll have a week to do this because I think it's only fair. And yeah, if there are any issues, any questions, you know where I am. You can email me, you can tweet me, or you can email me. You guys are really, really good at emailing me. So please make sure you carry on with that. If you're stuck, if you need help, that's what I'm here for. Please, please make me earn my money. Okay, don't sit there struggling if there's no need to be. Okay, and that's it, my darlings. It's a short video, but lots of work. So have at it and have fun and enjoy yourselves. This is where you get to flex your intellectual muscles. This is good for you. Okay. If you need any help, if you've got any issues, you know where I am. Take care and stay safe.